ketogenic diet buffer insulin actually? Let's understand about the mechanism, how it can work. So remember, important things, whenever you will eat anything, it can be a fat, it can be a protein, it can be a sugar, it can be a carbohydrate complex, every type of food, whenever you will intake, when it will detach, it will intact with the wall of the stomach, will lead to release the GIP. The GIP will target to your brain for realize the fulfillment of your stomach, while also increase the insulin level when target to the pancreas, islet of Langerhans, the beta cell. When the beta cell will stimulate due to the GIP to produce insulin, pre-absorptive nutrient. So in this is the pre-absorption of the nutrient. Before the absorption of the nutrient, insulin will lead to drop the glucose level, and in this way, that is why you will feel the fuzzy, and you will feel the more lighter and rest feeling, and you want to tired to relax, and in this way, that is why you will relax due to the quick insulin trigger for the nourishment of the tissue. So remember that things. In this way, basically important things you should need to understand, whenever you will intake food, so insulin will be spike, unfortunately. But the ketogenic diet, the high fat containing diet, will buffer insulin. Not too much spike, but the slightly spike of the insulin. In this way, you can lose the fat, because whenever insulin will not spike, so the fat will be dropped, while the insulin spike will lead to fat accumulation. But the time of the insulin spike is important. You should need to understand. After the hard workout, whenever you will go into the home, you should spike the insulin for the influx of the amino acid, glucose and protein. On the other hand, the fat into the muscle for the preparation and the myogenesis, angiogenesis, a lot more anabolic part. So in this way, the recovery will occur. That time is the insulin spike, but not too much spike. You should not intake the refined sugar. So remember. But on the other hand, the ketogenic diet, which that will lead to activate the beta oxidation of fatty acid rather than the glycolysis. In this way, the beta oxidation of fatty acid required the electron transport chain, while the electron transport chain basically for production of energy. Remember. So in this is the beta oxidation of free fatty acid to produce more ATP, and in this the oxygen consumption level will be increased. Whenever you will on the ketogenic diet, your consumption of the energy from the fat only. In this way, whenever you will go into the fasting after the ketogenic diet, in this way, fasting will trigger the lypolisis. Because the insulin when dropped, glucagone will increase. But glucagone is used for the lipolysis, and on the other hand, the glycogenolysis. The glycogenolysis means the glycogen depletion for production of ATP whenever we go into the certain type of tissue. And in this, the decrease of the glycogen will occur. But on the other hand, important things you should need to understand, whenever the insulin will drop, the growth hormone will increase. The growth hormone is important for increase the insulin-like growth factor 1, and the growth hormone is important for the maintenance of the metabolism. In this, the glucagone will compete with the growth hormone, but the growth hormone is very important and dominant. In this, the glucagone suppression and the rest and digest time, the growth hormone will spike. Rest and digest time means the intracellular rest and digest. In this way, increase the growth hormone will lead to bone growth and the muscle growth. On the other hand, the lipids breakdown. The lipolysis will occur in your adipose tissue, and in this way the production of more free fatty acid and cholesterol. And that will go into the liver, and the liver will produce more cholesterol, and that cholesterol is important for the production of testosterone, estrogen for female. On the other hand, a lot more things. But the growth hormone also triggers the insulin-like growth factor 1. The insulin-like growth factor 1 is very important anabolic. Not like insulin, but the insulin also anabolic. But the insulin-like growth factor 1 is important for the proliferation of the myocyte. It means the proliferation of the myosatellite cell and the proliferation of the bone's osteoblast to convert into the osteoclast. In this way, the bone density will be increased, and in this way your bone density increase, your muscle will be increased. On the other hand, the insulin-like growth factor 1 is anabolic and also trigger the antioxidant processes. On the other hand, it is insulin-like growth factor 1 also trigger the testosterone production. How? Because the lypolisis to produce more cholesterol, and cholesterol go into the Leydig cell of the testis, to produce more and more testosterone and dihydrotestosterone. It will lead to increase the strength and the power of your body. In this way, the agility will increase. On the other hand, the more look like a masculine. If the female, so look like a feminine. In this way, you will look more healthy and increase the lifespan due to the growth hormone increase, and that growth hormone increase due to the ketogenic diet. So in this way, we are understanding about the ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet not work as much as whenever you will not fasting. The ketogenic diet is important with the fasting because the fasting will trigger the more ketogenesis. The ketogenesis produce ketones, and that ketones is used for the brain, muscle and bone for normal metabolism rather than the using of the glucose, because it is the heavier molecule and the insulin will not spike, so the glucose will not enter into the brain because the 20% sugar consumption or 20% energy consumed by the brain. But in this way, the ketones will be directly moved without using of the insulin. In this way, you can improve your insulin sensitivity and the weight loss, even the more health benefits. That is why important thing you should need to understand. The ketogenic diet is too much important, but remember that things. If you are losing weight, so the caloric restriction is very important. The calorie restriction means half calorie for as compared to the regular intake of the calorie. And in this way, if you are eating the fat containing diet like ketogenic diet, you should half the number of calories for decreasing of the fat. It will not work if you are eating too much fat, because it will basically spike more insulin. And on the other hand, it is important thing you should need to understand, your liver will produce more glucose through gluconeogenesis process if the excessive fat will produce. So anyhow, important thing you should need to understand, the ketogenic diet will lose your fat, will increase your muscle and bone growth due to the growth hormone increase, and the fat loss due to the growth hormone increase, and that is why you can improve yourself. I hope you make sense about that. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video. For this time, bye. Allah Hafiz.